Hello and welcome to PAXTON ROAD TV, the reaction show after the game that I've just witnessed, Spurs versus Manchester United. The score, Spurs 1, Manchester United 3, and we're joined in the house by a number of Mancs below, as you can see. I don't even want to introduce the Mancs below, but I'll introduce the Tottenham guys on the top. We have Mike Hotspur, Hustler, Darius 3K, and Marlon Bashman, but I'm not going to disrespect the guys down below. We have Amonde, we have Kunde, we have Jab Jab, and TMJ. Yeah. All back from yesterday. Jab Jab's decided to come in and show his face. I don't know where he decided to come in now. Weren't here yesterday, but he's here today. Welcome, gentlemen. I don't know. I don't know what we can say. Let's start with me. Oh, I've got to rub my eyes first. First off, team was good. I looked at the team selection, couldn't complain with that at all. The only surprise potentially was Dyer. We called for Toby Alderweireld. Dyer was in the starting 11. And you think to yourself, we can possibly carry one player, even though it's Dyer. We've carried Sanchez a number of weeks. First half was good in terms of being able to press. Manchester United didn't look like they were really up for the game. It looked like, a bit lethargic from the game Thursday, even though a number of players weren't playing. But a second half, wow, I don't get the second half for me in terms of the substitutions. I know there was errors in there. The goals, I wouldn't even say they were great goals. There was just, again, defensive errors. That second goal where Dyer was again caught underneath the ball. What's going on with heading? Can they not position themselves properly? And then the third goal was what it is. Everybody was all over the place. By then, the players had lost their heads. But I'm going to have to put this one on Jose today. For me, it's 100% down to him in terms of not necessarily the performance in the second half, but the substitutions. When you're 1-1 in a game and you bring on Sissoko, that's criminal. Not even bring on Sissoko, but you take off Lo Celso, and then a few minutes later, you take off Ndombele. The exact thing happens as always happened so far. They go and score, and we're going to try and chase a game with Sissoko and Højbjerg as our ball players. It is never going to work. And for that, there's no forgiving the manager because it's happened more than once. It's happened more than twice. It's happened 3 or 4 times now. And that, for me, shows everything about that. The players, after that second goal winning, looked like they'd had enough. They weren't playing for him. Some of them players weren't playing for him. And I feel for us now. I really do feel for us going into any game that we're going to be playing next week, the cup final. How he's going to get some of these players motivated to play that I don't know. We might have to make some serious changes in terms of the personnel, maybe put some youngsters in there. No, I'm not even going to lie, because some of them players today, in that second half particularly, just looked like they were going through the motion. There was things that were being done. It's unforgivable. Like I said, I've coached football at a decent level for a number of years, and I cannot get my head around players not being able to play 5-yard passes to another player in a Premier League. It's unforgivable. So that's my rant done. I can't say no more. We're going to start with a Man United perspective. Who wants to go from Man United first? Amondi, let's start with you. You can go first. I'll put you on screen. Gentlemen.
Yeah, okay. All right. You want me to start?
Yes.
Yeah. Greetings, everybody. Greetings to the world out there. I hope everyone enjoyed the game. I did. I didn't. Yeah. Just quickly, I don't know what. And look, we won 3-1. My main talking point, which I think we should cover during the game, is should that goal have been disallowed? In my eyes, he had his shirt grabbed. He went to reach where the shirt was grabbed and pulled out. And it touched his face. I'm really disappointed with that, and to see the referee go over and look at it and still decide that was a foul. He wasn't even looking at Song. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you look at it at different angles or in real time, it doesn't look like a foul. And when you look at it in slow motion, you have to use your senses and say that was never a foul. And there's a great move by Pogba, great finish by Cavani in a 6-yard box to get them out of space and make the movement and the run. That's what you call world-class striker, world-class number 9. Unfortunately, I was looking for a world-class number 9 in Harry Kane today, but Harry Maguire munched him up every single time. So I'm really happy with the performance. For us to show a lot of character to come back into the game against a good Spurs side. I know you're disappointed out there, but this is how it is, man. It's got nothing to do with Ollie again. Nothing at all to do with Ollie. That's to do with the best players out there. As you can see, we were managing the game at 2-1 up. Towards the end, last 10 minutes, we were managing the game by playing it down the left with Pogba, nice little passes, keep holding the ball. That was top players doing that. And I'm really impressed with, I always give Fred a lot of stick, but that just shows if we had a player in that position who could score 10 goals a season, playing as Fred Mark II or something, not Fred, but just playing short, simple passing in the box. That goal was brilliant. So that's me.
Sorry to interrupt. The thing is today, and I've said it before, I don't even think Fred's Brazilian. I think, as I said to you, I think he's from Bradford because he don't play like a Brazilian. Yeah. But today we made this brother look like a class Brazilian, and that is unforgivable. That's unforgivable because the midfield today of, as I said, look, Fred, and I was giving them grief when I saw that. I was thinking, how can they play these two? And Pogba's not even in the middle. Pogba's out on the right or the left, wherever he's playing. There's nothing in there, and that's what I'm saying. The players that we had in midfield should be dominating and bossing that game. First half, possibly they were the better, maybe, but even so, there was still chances from both ends. Mike, I'll come to you. What was your thoughts on the game? You might have a different perspective, but give us your overview of what you think and where the mistakes were that Spurs managed to go from, again, a winning position up until halftime. That's 18 points we've dropped from winning position. I think that's 15 from winning at halftime. It's unforgivable. I'm sorry, it's unforgivable. But this is opinions. Your thoughts, Mike?
On me, my thoughts. First half, I thought it was even. Both teams had the opportunities. I know on Monday you mentioned about the disallowed goal, but what I would say to you on that is the players, the hand is hit Son's face, and in the law, in the eye of the law now, although I do agree it was a soft foul, but regardless if it's intentional or not, he still clipped him in the face. So the way they're seeing it now is that it's a foul. I know everyone, and I think it was a soft decision, but it is what it is. I thought we played all right first half. Second half, I think Man United won it in the first 10 minutes of the second half. We seem to have just dropped back a little bit and invited the pressure on, and I think that's we did go on to lose the game, and I think that's where we lost it, in that first 10 minutes of the second half. We still had chances though. Son had chances. Ndombele, he had a header and stuff. I know everyone is going to be, all the Tottenham boys are probably going to be sort of like, oh, this is all Jose's fault. It's this, that, and the other. But I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down partly on the players. I don't think I can see why he brought Sissoko on, just to give some energy into the middle. And I don't think Sissoko particularly played badly. He was just there to provide energy that I think Mourinho thought that is what we needed in the middle of the park. I know Ndombele, and I know, well, Lo Celso looked like he was tiring come midway through the second half. So he would have got hooked anyway. I know Ndombele, I would have played him, and especially at 1-1, I would have kept it going. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
I'll come to one of the Man United guys. Jab, I'll come to you first. Welcome, by the way. First time on the show. And you come on a winning show for Man United. Well done. Hope to see you on the United agenda as well soon. The best team, do you think the best team won today?
Yeah, obviously. That's the result. But in all honesty, I think the first half was fairly even. I was very disappointed with us conceding the goal after us getting our goal taken away. But I think Man United, as they've continued to do all season, second half has been a very good second half side. And that's what changed the game. Not much I can say apart from that. Like, I didn't really expect you guys to do much more than you did. So.
Marlon, before we get to Darius, Marlon, I know you was saying in the chat earlier, this was going to be one of you might lose the plot on this one. I feel to lose the plot on this one too, because of some of the things I saw in the game, some of the things I saw from the management team as well. I'm just. Yeah, there's only so much you can do when you see the same things happening over and over and over and over again in terms of how we seem to just going at half time and then come out second half thinking to yourself, all right, we're going to try and hold on to a 1-0. How many times have we gone and done this? In terms of what we've done today, how do you think the rest of the season is going to go? How do you think the players are going to react to this?
I think they might even just give up now, to be honest. Just play for the cup. I don't normally call out Levy, but I think Levy messed up here. The whole sacking of Poch and getting in Mourinho. Also, you have to give credit to Poch now. So you're seeing what he done with these players, because they were never these top grade players. He always made them look better than what they are. But I don't know. It doesn't shock me, man. I was quite disappointed in the second half, but I expected it. But another thing, I'll give Podboy his rating. He played well today, mate. Podboy, and Luke. I'll take it back. I said Reguilon of Luke Shaw. Nah.
I had this conversation with Darren.
Luke Shaw's a baller. Luke Shaw's a baller. What the hell?
Luke Shaw and Podma showed Mourinho up today. That's what they came out to prove a point. You went for me when you were managing me. Now I'm going to prove a point that we are better than we expected.
I think Luke Shaw definitely went out to prove something. You can see just the way he was, the intensity he was going at things, the way he was running down that wing with the ball. He's passing. He did everything what I would expect Reguilon to have done today. Now Reguilon made some mistakes, and in punditry, Jamie Redknapp and Roy Keane was saying something like, they think he's a dream, and they were giving Aurier a bit of grief. But I've seen enough today to say, Aurier. Reguilon's made some mistakes in the past. He's had an injury, he's come back. He's still a top quality player, don't get me wrong. But Luke Shaw proved today what we expect of a left back. That's what I expect my left back to do. So I'll come to you, Kunde. Well done to you today. No freezing. You're in live now, so you can go say what you want to say based on the performance. The best team did win. Going forward now, how can you see Man United improving on what they did? From the first half, they looked a bit lackluster. But second half, is that the sort of performance you want to see going forward all the time from this team? Well, he looks like he has frozen again, so he's definitely. We're gonna have to come to you.
Right? Yeah. First half.
Oh god.
Oh, this is.
Am I back? Am I back? Yeah.
You're back.
You're back.
What are you on? You on some sort of wait, where are you? Where are you broadcasting from? Okay, I'm back. All right. First half, I thought it was like a really first half, the first half it was like really intense. It was a very fast-paced game. I was really disappointed with the disallowed goal because I thought Son put his hands on McTominay first. McTominay just waved away. When Tottenham scored, I was obviously really pissed off, and I was really pissed off with Lindelof again, not being thorough with his clearance, and I thought we just switched off for a moment. And obviously, like, we equalised at a good time. I don't know what was said during the halftime team talk. I don't know if Ollie has maybe read them a page of the Philosopher's Stone or something, because the second half we came out with a different brand of football. We just came out with a different brand of football completely. And it was amazing. The transition, it was like a feat, from FIFA freestyle to this new transition.
It wasn't Ollie, but it was character and all the talking.
Was it freestyle magic words?
Well, whoever it was,
it would have been Carrick doing a team talk at half time because Ollie ain't got Scooby.
You're right, mate. But no,
100%.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the best. That's the best United I think they've played this season. And
really,
I feel like with Tottenham, I don't know about that. That's the best I've seen us perform.
I would agree.
Can I just say? United only had 3 shots on target, so they can't have been United's best. It's not their best performance. Not their best performance.
What about the Leipzig game?
One of.
United actually had 7. We had 3 shots.
We actually had 7 on target.
If Fred's doing 1-2s and all that.
You lot had 3 on target.
We'll come to the stats in a little while.
But even then, I don't think that was United's best performance. Not by a long shot.
Fredzinho's best game. Fredzinho.
Oh, Fredzinho,
Definitely.
What more can you say about Mourinho that you haven't already said? So I'm going to come to you, Darius. Give me your thoughts on the performance of the manager, the performance of the team, the performance of the club.
Don't since defeated.
Mate, I was defeated last week and I tweeted it. So like, this is why I tweet everything and I text everything. So when anybody says anything to me, there's evidence and receipts to back it up. I've been said this. I'm not. Excuse me if I go on a tangent and start like going on a bit of a rant, but I kind of want to just get things off my head because I'm just kind of trying to think about what I've watched and what I'm watching. And it's just, we know about these players. We can go on about these players all year, every month, every game. We can go on about these players. But, you know, for me, right, when you see a player like Eric Dyer, and we all know he's not good enough, and we all know he shouldn't be playing, you've got Toby on the bench. Toby's on the bench. He's not injured. He's not unfit. He's not unwell. He's on the bench. So I can't use the excuse of a player if you are choosing to not play the players. You have obviously got an issue with Toby. That's what I assume now because you're not playing him and he's a better centre-back. So that's one thing. I didn't get that. Toby should have started and Dyer cost us the game because whatever he was trying to head, couldn't reach it. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Jose Mourinho I'm done now. I am completely and utterly done. And I know you Man U fans can relate to it as well because he's not proven that he's got any idea what's going on anymore. How can you at 1-1? And the first half, I would admit, I think we actually played. I don't think we played well. I think that Ole set up pretty poorly. I think playing Pogba on the left and Fred in the middle and trying to counter with a team that had Pogba on the left.
That had no pace.
There was no pace up front to counter.
There was no pace.
So they were trying to counter with no pace. And I was like, they're not really getting anywhere, Man U. We can kind of capitalize on this. And we didn't. They got a goal. We kind of got our goal. They got the goal disallowed. We got our goal back. We went in 1-0. And I said, you know what happens when Jose Mourinho's team goes 1-0? We sit back and we try to invite pressure when there's no need to. We can't do that. We're not good enough to do that. So I said, I knew the goal was going to go in. And then what made me even more angry was we had a midfield of Ndombele, Lo Celso, Højbjerg, and it was perfectly fine. Lo Celso was legs, but our bench, we had Lamela, we had Lucas who can play in a 10, and we had Bale. So why on earth are you taking off Lo Celso to bring on Sissoko and then bringing off Ndombele to bring on Lamela when you had Bale on the bench? You could move Lucas into the 10, which we had this argument yesterday in the preview. Lucas's best position is in the 10. So move Lucas into the 10, put Bale on the right, put Lamela on the right, put Bergwijn on the right. There's no excuses for this. There's no excuses. Sissoko shouldn't be playing in a Man U game. When we're 1-1, when it's 1-1, Sissoko should not be coming on. If we're 3-1, 2-1, and we have to try and close the game down, cool. So all these things that I'm saying, this is not down to the players. This is not down to the players. This is solely on the manager. And all of these factors were reasons why we lost the game. And I'm not discrediting Man U's performances. Individuals on that Man U team played pretty well. But I will say, and I do believe that Ole set up pretty poorly in the first half. I think that the game plan was there to counter, but the players and the personnel didn't match the game plan. And there was a space for Tottenham to take advantage of that. Man U got into the game, we laid back, we did the thing where we go 1-0 up and we gave them the pressure and we let them attack. And from when they scored the first goal, I knew what was going to happen and I predicted 3-1. So for me, I don't care about the season anymore. I'm done. I don't care what happens in the Carabao. We can lose 5-0, we can win 3-1. I don't care. I don't want to see Jose. I don't want to see Jose. I don't want to see Jose anywhere near it anymore.
I want to see us win it, but like
I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm done because I can't trust the team.
4 trophies. You need to win that.
It's going to be.
You need to win.
Can't trust him. I can't trust him. You think we're going to beat Man City? There's no chance.
Yes, you will. Yes, we will.
I will always look at game to game. Today's performance, particularly second half, was abject at best. It was, and again, you can make a combination of players and manager. The decisions were wrong. The decisions completely wrong. I can't remember what game it was. It was either West Ham or somebody I watched recently when, you're going into the last part of the game. The best form of defense is attack. So you bring on somebody that can stretch the game because Man United are going to come on to you. So you don't bring Sissoko on to try and shore things up when he can't fucking pass 5 yards. He can't pass the ball. He doesn't have anything in the game. He doesn't run with the ball well. He doesn't pass well. He doesn't thread anything through. So why would you bring someone on like that in a game where you have to win and not bring on Dele Alli, Bale, before that, Lamela, but it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And things like that are baffling me because it's not the first time. I would give him the benefit of that. It's once or twice, but it's 5 or 6 times this is happening. And this cannot be right. He either doesn't trust certain players or there was something fundamentally wrong. T, I'm going to come to you before I say too much. Your Man United performance today was good. You called some of it yesterday. You was shouting about them, so I can't knock you for that. Welcome back. Say what you got to say.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Just want to say, Mourinho got put where he was supposed to, man. I said it. We were going to win. We didn't really play the best type of football in the first half. I'll be real. I thought you lot were the better team in terms of your ball retention was really good, and Ndombele had good moments. Højbjerg was keeping the ball really well, was having the ball and nipping it around. But once we got into the second half, that's when it all clicked. I do feel that the goal that we had disallowed was very soft, and I don't think Tommy touched Son's face when you watch it back. But if I see it again, maybe it's different. But I just feel that was very soft, and it should have stood. But we move on.
Yeah.
Cavani had a good game. I have to give him it. I'm a big critic of Cavani and how he plays, but he showed up today and he got a goal. He should have had a brace, but we won the game. And yeah, man, we played really well. So I'm delighted with how he played, and Fred done really well as well. And I was critical of him in the first half because he kept dispossession of the ball and wasn't really keeping it well. But once we got in within the second half, and he took his goal really well, which I was shocked with. And yeah, man, it was a good game. Greenwood coming on, good impact. I think he played like roughly 18 minutes. Took his assist really well to find Cavani inside the box, and the goal that he got within late on near the 90th minute, he sent Reguilon, I don't know where, but he got done. So it was a deserved win. Mourinho got put in his place, and we had a good game. Not much more.
Can I ask a question to these Man U fans just before? You mentioned about the whole Shaw and Pogba kind of turned up. It looked like they turned up to prove something to Mourinho. This kind of goes to like both Man U and Tottenham fans. Like, do you think that if Mourinho is to leave, any of these players might get better because they've got a bit of a confidence boost, or do you think that 100%. It is down to our players just not being good enough?
100%.
Outside, are you saying that these players will get better?
I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying players like Bergwijn, Ali, players like that. I don't know. It's not Ali. Actually, I don't care about Ali.
Are we saying that he's at 23 in it or something like that?
Yeah, Bergwijn's 23.
Are we saying that their ability?
Let's hear Mike. Go on, Mike.
Are we saying that their ability will get better if Mourinho leaves?
No, but their confidence will get better.
No, their confidence will get
better. Hold on a minute. So what you're saying is, do we think their form will get better? Not them as players become better.
They're good players already.
They're good players. They're good players.
Take Dele Alli. Dele Alli.
Right, okay.
He's a good player. He's not.
Case in point, Jesse Lingard. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly. Yeah, take a point. Jesse Lingard.
That's a good example.
That's a very good point.
Let's not forget about Dele Alli. Dele Alli wasn't performing under the last part of Poch's tenure. Now, whether or not that's Dele Alli, his character isn't the sort of player that you can hammer and he's then going to say, right, I'm going to show you. He's the sort of character you need to be putting your arm around him, bringing the best out of him by making sure he's well loved, he's well, you know what I mean? He's the main person. But I don't believe that we can build a team around Dele Alli. In my opinion, our team has to be built around someone like Harry Kane, obviously, and Ndombele, because for me, Ndombele has got all the ability in the world as a midfielder. He can do everything. Yeah. What he was doing with the ball, his ball retention, his ball control, shrugging players off, his vision and passing. So when you take a player like that off who was doing all of that, and you bring on Sissoko. I lose my mind. There's no
whether he's a World Cup winner or not, he can't play.
Still gets in the front squad somehow. He still gets in the front.
Lamar won the World Cup as well.
Exactly. He played in the final, didn't he? He played in the World Cup final. Sure.
He's not going to get better. I don't care what manager you bring in. He ain't going to get better. He's got pictures of Jose's wife doing something. He has something on Jose. That's the only thing I can think. Because even in the documentary, Jose came in and said, Sissoko's the man in the dressing room. Oh, shit. So he's got something over some managers, because Poch did exactly the same, was playing this guy all the time. I've had a go at Sanchez, quite rightly in my opinion. He was nowhere to be seen, not even in the squad today. This guy, number 17, which is now I'm going to refer to him as just number only, no name, number 17 should be anywhere near the squad. He should be training with the under 23s or even the under 18s, because he should be playing football. He can't pass a ball. It's unforgivable.
But it's not just Mourinho.
When I was with Mourinho,
that's Darius' question. Darius, is it that you think Eric Dyer is more suited for midfield, or you just don't want him in the team?
He's shit. So he's not suited to anything. He's rubbish. He's not anywhere. He's not suited to football. Maybe
what's happened to Harry Winks?
Maybe volleyball. Maybe basketball.
What's happened to Harry Winks?
Nah, Kunde. There's a few players.
Is he injured?
Harry Winks is just not good enough.
There's
a few players that aren't good enough. But again, I'm going to go back again. You mentioned how we have to build our squads around Harry Kane's sons and players like that. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk about Liverpool and City. And the reason why Liverpool are in the situation that they are in now and City are in the situation that they're in now is because Pep doesn't rely on 11s. He relies on 16s. And I understand that the players that we've got aren't good enough on the bench, but there are players on that bench who have been frozen out, who are being told who are not even given a chance by Jose. Joe Rodon, it took Jose 2-3 months to give Joe Rodon a chance. The guy didn't put him in the Europa League squad. If he was in that Europa League squad, we'd have beaten Zagreb. I'm putting my chest on that. So for me, there's players in that squad who have to force themselves to kind of get into that starting 11 because Jose's like, don't really trust him. For me, I know a manager who can come in and put his arm around the player. And I know that's kind of like, you can't really have that with every player, but you have to have 15, 16 players who are on board. So those players who maybe aren't good enough, who maybe you can't use the hard treatment on them. You do need to put your arm around them and say, mate, we do need you still. If you are going to be a part of this team, we're going to need you to contribute. So for me, there's a few players that need to be like that.
I'm going to come to Amanda because Amanda has been patiently putting his hand up, and I thank you very much for not butting in. That is very good. We like that. Amanda, there you go. The stage is yours.
Just respond to what you said about when Jose goes, will players get better or will they be? I think players will get freed up. That was demonstrated at Man United when Oli came in. We went on a run of about 10, 12 games. We were unbeaten. We were flying, and it wasn't saying Oli had a philosophy, but the players seemed to be, they could breathe again. They could do what they wanted to do. But it seems to be Jose does stifle players and then expect them to explode and out of
100%
frustration.
Yeah, so I think there will be, if you do get a new manager tomorrow, for example, you're probably going to win the cup final.
The thing is,
never takes responsibility.
Say for example,
he always blames someone else.
Say for example, someone like Harry Redknapp, right, guys, or Terry Venables, those sort of warm, good feeling guys. Go out and play your game, guys. That's when you're going to smash.
Yeah, Harry Redknapp. Harry Redknapp was great. Harry Redknapp was really
the type of manager.
And the best out of the players, Harry Redknapp was the best at that.
The type of manager we need right at this moment in time, in terms of being able to at least do that sort of give your arm and let the players play, is Harry Redknapp. He did that.
Yeah,
he was basically. That's going too far now, Jack. Going too far now. Taking it one step too far here. Let's drag it back a little bit.
Christian Gross.
You're not taking the piss now.
But I think, just to say, like, I think that's why you can see why Chelsea have been so, and this is why I'm in love with Thomas Tuchel, because he seems to have gotten the fine. He's a tactical genius because you can see he plans his games, but he's also a very good manager, and that's the difference now between a good manager and a Klopp as well. I
will say with Chelsea, if you match them up squad for squad,
obviously, but you have to think about it. Like Rudiger, Christensen, Azpilicueta weren't any different when Lampard was in charge. Tuchel had a plan and had a system, and it matches and it helps them. And then he's also helped the players like Ziyech, like maybe Hudson-Odoi, who weren't maybe starting, to kind of say, you're going to have a place in this team, but you might not be starting, but you've got a role. That's what you need to do.
Excuse me, Darius. Like that could have all gone wrong with Hudson-Odoi, for example. He brought him on and dragged him off again. That could have destroyed the guy's confidence. But like you say, I think he's got he's playing with fire there. He could destroy a player there. Look, we're talking about who's the tall, long string of bean guy who plays up front for Chelsea?
Tammy Abraham.
He's from now right now because it doesn't look like he's going to get a game again. So sometimes you have to.
It's a risk.
You're going to lose somebody. You're going to lose someone by 100%. Coming in like that. But I do agree, Thomas Tuchel coming in, and after Lampard, he's like resurgent. They only lost to West Brom the other day. That was the first loss they had. So when a new manager does come in, you can see players do go on a run. Either one, you want to prove something to the new manager, or two, you're freed up like Man United were when we got rid of Jose.
Marlon, I want to come to you. Where do you think? Just going to go to Marlon. Where do you think we come from? Where do you think we go from here in terms of how the team's going to perform? Because, like I said, there's still a number of games to play. Although I know, looking at how we played today and looking at the last few games, top four is a real distance away. But in terms of points, it's not. There's a few things that might need to go our way, which all the teams above us are not going to lose all their games. So it's going to be a real struggle to get top four. But what would you like to see, at least from the team, going forward for the rest of the season?
I gave up on top four ages ago, to be honest. We weren't even in a picture for top four. I just think we need to make Europe, like Europa League, whatever. Going forward, do you know what? I'm actually lost for words. I don't know. Today, we shouldn't have lost 3-1 to Man U. I'm still shocked. I'm sitting there thinking,
I can't believe it myself.
Oh, God.
3-1
based on the team.
Like,
it's based on the team.
In time and they did win, but we should not be losing 3-1. Why?
Can I also add? It was
what did you not do?
You guys played on
why you should have won through?
No matter
what did you do?
This Man U team is not that great. I don't care what anyone says. The only team to me that stands out in this league is Man City. This Spurs team is as good as everyone else. Maybe it is a confidence thing or the manager, but we should not be losing 3-1. That's the only thing that got me to. I was thinking, right, we sat back and lost 3-1 to the team. That's not acceptable.
It's unacceptable. I agree.
It's not. This is like what happened in Europe the other day. We lost 3-0. Unacceptable performances. Sorry, I can't.
You know what the biggest thing is? When we go 1-0 up and we take a lead into halftime, because like I said, we've lost 18 points from winning positions, 15 points from winning a game at halftime. Yeah. The stats show most times when you're winning at halftime, the stats show that you go on to win the game. You don't often lose the game. You don't often lose, and I can probably pull up some stats. But the stats show that you shouldn't lose a game, even to the point where you might concede the last late minute one. We've had that with Newcastle, the Lights, Wolves. You can go through the list. But to go from 1-0 up to then go to what we did to the end of the game where we looked like 3-1 was probably, there was a couple of opportunities for Man United. We had some chances to score as well, don't get me wrong. But we can't be relying on our forwards all the time to bail us out of problems. We have to have defensive solidity and we have to have the right personnel in the team when we are winning to be able to maintain control of the game. We lost control of the game. And when you lose control of a game, how can you have Fred and bloody McTominay running the show? It don't make no sense to me.
It's that first 10 minutes in the second half. I just saw it. I said, what are you doing?
We lost the game in the first 10.
Losing my mind.
I think we lost the game because of the substitutions. You're losing control in the first 10 minutes and then you're bringing off a ball-playing midfielder and also you're bringing on Sissoko. That's why we lost the game, because obviously...
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
To Spurs fans. I know, Darius, you mentioned about Poch and all that, but I feel like he took Spurs as far as he could, because I feel like there's a ceiling with Spurs. Like with Levy, what Poch was complaining about, he just got them to a Champions League final and then got sacked the next season. But what Poch was complaining about is not being able to strengthen the squad because he's not given enough money. So is there always going to be a plateau with Spurs about how far they could go, no matter who they bring in? Because they've got talented players, but this is the thing. He's so stingy. Is he going to give them money to make that next step?
Mike, do you want to take that as a question?
Yeah, I can take it. The problem we've got is we're in a pandemic at the moment, and I can't see Tottenham going out and blowing 100 million on players that quite rightly should be replaced to strengthen us to be able to compete in the top 4, compete for cups and stuff. It's just not going to happen. I don't think there's going to be many clubs apart from City who are going to be blowing any silly sort of money in the transfer window in the summer. The pandemic's taken its toll financially on a lot of clubs, and that includes Man United. So don't expect to see Ollie blowing 100-odd million here, there, and everywhere, because I just don't think it's going to happen unless you sell some players. And it's the same, as I say, it's the same with Tottenham. I just think if we're going to strengthen the team, we'll have to sell to buy. And you might be right. It might be the fact that Tottenham can't ever sort of improve as a squad, as a club, because Levy's hindering us financially. But I think you just have to balance. It has to be a balanced act, because we have spent a lot of money with the stadium, with training facilities, and it's a business at the end of the day. It's not monopoly money. It's not like, oh yeah, let's just go and blow another 100 million on 3 or 4 players, or however much it is to strengthen it. You've just got to be realistic with where Tottenham are and where Tottenham could be. Now, going back just very quickly on Levy, I think Levy has concentrated on the stadium, because the money that stadium could bring into Tottenham when we're out of this pandemic can provide us with the financials that could see us then going out buying XYZ, or not. I use that in a loose sense, buying XYZ, but bringing in the players that will help strengthen us. also the stadium deal. Levy's holding out on that naming right. So once he's got someone that he feels is suitable for Spurs, that'll bring in extra money. And I think if you said that in the next 5 years, I think we will be in a financial position whereby we will have the funds to go out and buy the players and compete with the likes of yourselves, etc. But it's not an overnight thing.
So my point for that is, sorry.
But can I just quickly say,
go on.
I see parallels with the Arsenal when they moved to the Emirates. This is what I'm saying because look, this is what when Arsene Wenger was like, we're moving to a big stadium, we're gonna this and that, we're gonna increase and all this. But really, because of that whole 6 years of having sell players and budget, they've gone down in the table. So I'm just hearing that
they have trophies in the Premier League.
The only thing on that,
with us, they've been winning a couple of things. Haven't they?
Can I just address that? That point about that is what you're right in what you're saying. But then, if you then go back to why we brought Jose in, the only reason it could have been is not to build. Exactly. It wasn't to build any squad. It wasn't to take what Poch had done and to make it better by improving players, by bringing in youngsters. He was brought in to win. The point Jose has been brought in to win is that he was looking to do it within the first 1, 2, 3 years of his contract. If we weren't going to do that because we weren't going to spend money, we should never have brought him in the first place. We may as well have been 14th or 15th, had that season, got rid of certain players, and kept Poch. That would have been the rebuild. However, go on.
Just on that, I think Levy expected Spurs to have the money. Once that stadium was built, I think he brought in Jose because I think he expected the funds to be coming from that stadium for him to be able to say, here you go, Mourinho, it's the money, spend it on what you need. But that pandemic, it's just killed it.
100%.
Can I say something about this? Because I feel a little bit different about this whole pandemic and players thing. Because I look at teams like Leicester and they lose players, and scouting networks as well was a massive part of this. You can find gems in this league. You don't need to spend money. If you've got a good scouting network like Leicester do, you can go and get Castagna from Atalanta. You can go and get Ndidi. You can go and get, who else did they bought? They sold Mahrez and they went and Fofana, exactly. Look at these players that they're bringing in. Fofana cost 30 million, but they scouted him and they saw that he's got potential.
That's fine. That's fine.
Mourinho's never done that though, has he?
Can I just say
that's not Mourinho's job.
Darius.
Oh, good day, man.
One thing in response to that. I'm just saying, with Poch, he got to a Champions League final, right? And after that, I think he should be given some money to push further. Remember when you finished? Did you finish second or to Leicester? You should have finished second.
Finished second.
One season.
Finished second, 2017.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, I just feel that Levy's just content. Oh, hopefully you're getting Champions League money. I don't think he's really ambitious enough to push them for a league title. That's where if a manager gets
I disagree.
That's where he's got. Hold on, because who did Poch get to buy after he won that? He got the Champions League.
Let me just say my bit. The reason I disagree with that bit is because
this is before the pandemic.
You wouldn't have brought Jose Mourinho in to do that. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have brought Jose Mourinho in. You only bring Jose Mourinho in for one reason, because his history shows he has a 2, 3, 4 year cycle, whatever it is. You only bring him in to win. Spurs were, I say this on a number of times, we haven't won anything. 2008, the last time we won, and that was a League Cup. Jose was not brought in to build, he was brought in to win and win within a specific time frame. If they were never looking to build, they would have given him a 5-year contract. He's got a 3-year contract. So Jose's only been brought in to win. Had that been the case with Poch, we should have suffered letting the players have their way. Poch would have had maybe finished 14th, 15th that season, and then taking out some of them players, remove some of them players, because Poch knew what he was doing in terms of building. He was bringing certain youngsters through, but he had a lot of deadwood in there that weren't performing for him.
I'll just say that then. Sorry.
Just to elaborate. Oh, sorry.
Go on,
on that. Sorry. What you were saying on Poch, and it's true what you're saying, because I rate Poch very highly as a manager because he can get the most out of players. Like, he got a lot of Harry Winks, Kieran Trippier, Danny Rose, and he got them into like international levels and solidified them in the place. And he was making the most out of them. He made Sissoko the player that he was, even though he's not good now, but he was making something out of Sissoko. So just getting rid of Poch, just getting rid of Poch and bringing in Mourinho just for a quick fix it's not even a League Cup. I don't know how you lot can be satisfied just with a League Cup. I get it's
Trey,
I
this
get
is what I was gonna
I
say,
get it.
Trey. We're
But
not
that's what I'm
paying
saying.
15
A League
million
Cup.
for a League
What-
Cup.
Just covering
let me
old ground.
elaborate.
99 and 2008.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, like, even when we won the Europa League and the League Cup under Mourinho, that's not satisfying for me. If I'm expecting Mourinho, I'm expecting at least 2 leagues minimum. It's Jose Mourinho.
You're at a different situation. You're classed in a different situation to Spurs.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But at the same time,
if you hadn't won 19 or 20 league titles, and the last time you won a league title was 1961, and the last cup you won was 2008, you would be celebrating, jumping all over the place had you won a Europa and an FA Cup and a league title. So that you can't bring the same argument to Spurs. Spurs have to win. The mentality side of things is what I'm looking at. Because if we don't win, the next manager that comes in, doesn't matter what he does, he could bring in the Sabitzers, he could bring in everybody that he wants. You cannot get certain players mentality-wise to do any more than they're doing. You have to have winners. We don't have winners. You can bring in you can bring Mbappe in. We're not going to win nothing because we can't get the rest of the team. You can't defend with them players like we had today.
It's a mentality thing. Your mind always
and
goes.
that's why
100% mentality.
Can I say something? It's all right.
Sorry,
on Monday. Can I put my hand up and no, 2 things. Darius, I agree with Darius. I was going to say the same thing about Leicester. The model is there. You can produce with your limitations. If you're not going to spend on Levy, whatever, you can still produce a championship winning side based on doing the homework and doing all the stats and scouting systems and networks like that. Also, if you look, don't say this about Man United. We spend. We're not a spending club. Today we had Greenwood, Rashford, Pogba, all on our side who are homegrown players who come from the squad. How many of you
homegrown?
Harry Kane?
He was going back, but he is a new product.
He's
a homegrown. He is.
The difference with Man United is the mentality through the club. It's the mentality through the whole club. These players are brought up. Look, one second. These players are brought up through Manchester United. They go through they see all these championships on the wall. Their mentality is that we can win. So we're not here to lose. But
I'm accepting what you're saying, but that comes with, if you've got homegrown players, they bleed the club. We've got McTominay again, another player in the midfield today. That's 4 players in our side who have come through the academy. So they're going to play. If you want that mentality,
but you can't say Man United are not a buying club.
If you want that mentality, and rather than buying someone who's going to come in, the sell and not really be on it. You've got 4 players there. Man United team today, first 11, who have come through the club and give you that extra 10% because they're homegrown players. We don't go out and buy big players, even though we can. This is the philosophy behind the club. So there's 2 things you can do to improve. Get like Leicester, take Leicester's scout system, and secondly, start sorting out your youth academy.
Man United are not a buying club.
Hold on. Mark, let me address this for you.
We can.
When you guys in the summer were chasing Jadon Sancho, were you or not disappointed when you didn't get him?
Yes, he was. Because we got Cavani.
Because he was trying to buy a player that 100 million, and that's what I'm trying to say. You're bringing big players in. The fact that you didn't get him meant that you had to bring other players in, younger players. The mentality of Manchester United is completely different to Spurs. As I keep saying, when you walk through the annals, when you walk through the hallways, everything is about winning. We've got this. So if you're a youth player and you're playing for Man United, you aspire to be the best because I can't play in this team.
Hold on a minute. In 1992, we didn't have this. We didn't.
We had 1992. We're talking about 2021. We're talking about 2021 now.
We hadn't had that many trophies. We hadn't won that many leagues. It's only since Fergie's come in and changed the whole philosophy. So I'm giving you 2 lovely suggestions here on how you can improve.
So Man United in 1992 never had any.
One stat. This was right.
That's a whole different argument. That argument no way. You had a bad period. Liverpool had a bad period. They didn't win the Premier League for 20, 30 years. Their history was completely there.
You can't compare our situation with Tottenham. We can't do that.
You can't compare anyone. Man United in the 90s when they had Ron Atkinson and all them mans. I agree.
Every match we've had.
You had a history when you had George Best, Dennis Law, all them mans. You had a history.
Look at your 61 side. That's brilliant. Club sides.
On Monday, you can't compare what we've done and then just say what
on a Monday
done, because anything really.
You cannot say you're not a club.
Yeah, I can.
You
Should I-
can't say you're not a buying club.
we-
You are a buying
We
club.
are a buying club.
We haven't spent it in the right
Difference
order.
is-
One at a time.
we-
TJ,
We
TJ.
do buy, but we've always got our homegrown players in the
one
squad.
at a time, please, guys.
Always got homegrown players in the match.
I'm gonna put TJ on.
To get lost.
TJ, go on.
Oh, it's
In
pain,
terms
yeah.
of what Mike's saying, in terms of a spending club, I'll say post Ferguson, the money we've been spending, but it's just been in the wrong orderly fashion. And to like what Monday said, like you can't really compare what our success with Tottenham, because Tottenham haven't had anything really. So I get what Sam is saying in terms of like a League Cup would be like the first type of silverware since 08, innit? And it would bring like a bit of a oh sorry,
a stepping stone.
Yeah, stepping stone. Yeah, stepping stone into like a bit of a mentality thing, so it can trigger something into these players because
foundation.
Foundation into these players. So it might do it, but even still, like I'll still say you need more than one trophy to make it click.
I know that. So, can I just say something? A stepping stone. First of all, £50 million for a Carabao Cup is a very expensive stepping stone that I am not supporting, by the way. And second of all, top 4 is more of a stepping stone than the Carabao Cup if you want to get back to somewhere. Because I know for a fact, if you want to sign a good player for a flip for Tottenham Hotspur and you tell them, yeah, mate, we got a Carabao Cup, or yeah, you can play in the Champions League next season, I know which one I'm going to say, yeah, that's probably going to be more of an influence. So I understand the whole trophy talk and everything. But if we're talking about rebuilding, realistically, yeah, a Carabao Cup for 3 years of Jose is not worth it. Like he had Poch's team. Poch had the team for 5 years. The reason Poch had to leave was because he was there for 5 years. I think he should have gone at that time. I think 5 years is a long time. I don't think he could have got any more. But if Jose's been given this squad who got into the Champions League final and Levy's satisfied with a Carabao Cup to pay him £15 million a year, that I don't agree with that person.
I don't think anybody said
that's a massive.
Sorry, jab. Come on. Yeah, I'm going to give this a jab on this one.
Yeah, so 2 things, yeah. I think you've been a bit harsh on Poch, yeah. The 5 years he was there, he didn't win anything. And the reason why you let him go is because of that. He didn't win anything, right? So I think Jose's been brought in a trophy. Now, you can take away the Carabao Cup and disrespect it or give it any. For me, a trophy is a trophy. I don't give a I'm taking
100%.
100%.
From the point of view of it, from where Tottenham is as a club, yeah, you need to win that first trophy, just like Alex Ferguson did.
100%.
That was the Carabao. That was the League Cup.
Yeah.
You win that first trophy, and then you right, and then the following. So that's
but if we finish 7th, are we going to be able to kick on from that?
With Mike also about United being a buying club. Seasonally under Alex, we would buy 1 world-class player, maybe 2 in a season, and make them mold into the club that we've got with the players that we've got. In the last couple of years, because we've been so far behind the Cities and the Chelseas and so much the Liverpools, we have become that club that looks like we're going out there and spending big to get a result straight away. That's because we want that result now. We want what you're trying to get, which is the trophies, but we want to get back to where we were dominating. The difference is, though, that our youth has been, I would say the youth in the last 10 years have been average. There's been 1 or 2 gems that have come through. Whereas before in the 90s, it seemed like everyone was coming through and everyone was getting into the team. And I think you'll find that in the next couple of seasons that the youth are starting to come through. There's a guy that was on the bench in Europe this week, and if he had come on, everyone was looking at it like, who is this guy? Who's this guy? But then I had to look at some stuff, and he's lighting up the under 23s. So we're bringing them through. We're slowly bringing them through. We've got one of the youngest first 11s in age-wise, and the Jadon Sancho thing, for me, I never wanted him personally. I know why. It was to stop him going to another big club. He's a good player, but I think he's not what we need. For me, I want another central defender. That's why.
I'm just gonna come to some comments here because we've got loads of comments here, loads and loads of comments. They're not all positive for Spurs, I must admit. Let us have a quick look. Let's go from here. Season is done, over and finished. See you all next season. That's N17 White Hart Lane. Angelo says that. Mourinho wants a payoff. I'm convinced. Pipe 71. Jose smokes crack. Pass it on. Shout out to Woodland United Proper Team Cup final. More Mourinho is a waste man. Defo goal. Scott shouldn't have been penalised.
Thank you.
It's debatable. But like
it's
I said,
soft, man.
It was soft.
That was all you can say. It was soft.
On looking at it, he flicked him in his eye, so it could be given as a foul. We looked lost, and that's Spurs Debate TV. 61 never again. I'm sure this is somebody saying Jose in. He might be a Spurs fan because he's mentioning 61. Colin here. The midfield have been giving away the ball all season and trying hard enough to get it back. If you don't control the midfield, you're done, which is what we were saying earlier. You have to, and if we can't control them, I'm not being disrespectful, but your midfield, if you've got Fred and McTominay, isn't what I would consider the best midfield I've seen Man United produce. I would have seen, if Pogba was in the middle with one of them two, I'd have said, that's going to be a bit more tidy, a bit more decent.
I would like Donny.
Hard to break them down. It's hard to break them two down.
But it wasn't that there was
combination. We haven't lost the way. We haven't lost the way.
It wasn't about breaking them down.
The ref was showing we haven't lost the way.
I'm giving you props. I'm giving you props. They were better in midfield in the second half than ours, and not just about defending. They were playing passes to their players, and they were receiving the ball on half turns.
Yeah.
This is the
they outwork everyone.
I'm not seeing our players do. When you take off London Bellet and Lo Celso, you don't see anybody doing that sort of thing. Receiving, look, check shoulder, receive, half turn, bam, play the ball through ball. You got Sissoko looking up. What do I do? What do I do? Kick it ball out. What?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, sorry, Monday. What do you want to say? On Monday.
Yeah. I was looking at you got two guys in midfield today. Who were they? Holberg and
yeah.
One knows Holberg. He was coming back into the back three and starting building up the play. So there's only one man in the midfield there. So you were getting overrun in that midfield based on that because he was dropping far too deep, playing as a third centre back.
Oh, but he's been doing that all the season. The thing is,
you're going to be overrun in midfield then if you continue to do that.
But the way we combat that is Harry Kane drops into the midfield as well. So if you notice how we play, you have okay, I'll just try and explain from a technical point of view. Højbjerg drops in, so what you've got is Ndombele, you've got Lo Celso who could come in to make the double pivot again, and Harry Kane is playing in front. So you still got your three. It's how you play the formation to get the best out of the players. Once you take off Ndombele, who is the one that can receive the ball, take a player, take the shrug, and then pass the ball, you lose everything. Because Højbjerg dropping in can only pass to Sissoko, and Sissoko can't do what Højbjerg does. So it breaks everything down. And once it's broken down, you're under pressure. And when you're continuously under pressure, you're going to concede goals because our back line is not good enough at defending. That's a technical aspect of it from my perspective anyway.
To make Lo Celso and Ndombele shouldn't have come off.
No way.
Even if they're tired, keep them on the pitch because they offer something going forward. But as I said, there's this narrative around these players and it's nonsense. Leave them on the pitch. Bring it on to Sissoko. I haven't said his name. It was just a mistake.
Number 17.
Number 17. Listen, Tottenham they're past those players, but obviously not. I don't know.
I'm angry. I'm angry at the fact because we've seen it before. It's not like it's like, oh, that's not. I was happy with that team today. I was really happy with that team, and you know, it's so disappointing. It's just frustrating. Really frustrating.
As I said, coming out the second half, you just saw the mentality change. I was like, what are you not doing? You just saw the goal coming.
It's the first 10 minutes in that second half. Yeah, that's where we lost it in that second. That first 10 minutes is where we lost it.
Can I make 2 points? Yeah. Just make 2 points. If you notice, after the goal got disallowed, we started losing our heads. We started taking yellow cards. We were getting really frustrated, and that could have gone either way. Something happened. The catalyst was we went into half time. We come out. Pogba gave the team talk, rousing team talk. They've come out and they really went.
It was carrot.
That's right.
Guys, give us credit. We showed a lot of character to go from that where we had our heads down to turn it around and really get going at you.
But wouldn't you expect that?
That's just our mentality.
And completely different brand of football in the second half.
Let's just have a look at the stats. Let's bring the stats up and see what they were saying. See how dominant the game was. So this is what we had. Let me just take off the banners bit at the bottom so we can see everything. So possession-wise, 46-54, probably right there. Definitely from the second half, he was more possession. 12 shots to 12 in terms of each having 12 shots, but then 3 shots on target to us, 7 on for you. Completed passes, 436 to 498. Doesn't really mean that much to me, to be honest. It's what you do with the ball. 11 fouls to 15. So again, relatively close, but them shots on target, that's a big difference. When you've got,
we wanted it more.
When you've got Fred popping up in that position to score a goal, that tells me everything. He wasn't bothered about having to defend. If he's popping up in the box, in the 6-yard box to knock in a goal,
was dropping.
That's what I'm saying. So he was dominant because he knew what he could go forward. He could afford to do that because we weren't controlling midfield. And
can I say something, please?
Yes,
yesterday we had a really good show. I've rewatched it twice. And in other debates that we've had together, we talked about Harry Kane being a world-class striker. And we talked about Harry Maguire yesterday as well, saying he turns like the QE2. That was you, Shane, yeah? So, please, I said, you got to have some major attributes to be like world-class. Harry Kane was using his physical today. That's what he uses a lot of physical against players because he's big and strong. But today,
don't go there.
Today he came up against somebody who could match him on the physical and outrun him and eat up everything that was played into him. So well done, Harry Maguire. Thank you.
I thought you was going to say about Harry Kane.
Can I say something as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Just to relate what Amunde said, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Harry Maguire, he did have a great game and he's been consistent for the last few games now. And I just think he needs to get the respect that he deserves. Okay, he's not worth 80 million. He's not the most flamboyant defender across Europe, but he does a job. He does a good job, and he doesn't really get beat 1v1. The only time I can remember him getting beat was probably like, okay, Vardy's done him a few times, but I think the other time is when
he dragged Shaw and then Ndombele scored earlier on. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay,
I just wanted to get that one in. I just wanted to get that one.
Yeah, that one cool, but that one, we only had like, I think one preseason game. You lot had like 4, I think, around that time. And I can remember
we had all the European qualifiers.
That's about it. But he doesn't really get caught out too many times. If you watch Harry Maguire's game, he reads it very well, and he's big and physical, and he gets stuck in. That's the one thing I would say. He is very aggressive, and he does read it very well. So he has to get his plaudits there, man. He's done the captain's job.
He's smart enough to take a foul took one against Vardy the other day.
I think our league it speaks volumes. Our league position, it speaks volumes because since he's come in, we finished 3rd last season, and we look odds on to get 2nd this season. I think it's to do with the defense. I honestly do, because we didn't have a leader like that before, you know. And I got to give the man credit.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come around to everybody to give their final summation, and then we'll just go through the last of these comments to wrap this up, because I want to go and see if Arsenal can get beat today. But
anyway. 1-0 now.
I think you are Arsenal.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough. I'll come to you first, TJ, then go around to Man United, and then come to the Spurs guys. So, give your final thoughts about today's game.
Okay, so my final thoughts on today's game. The first half wasn't really our best. We deserved to go 1-0 up, but obviously we got taken away, and you lot anticipated that and just went on to take your goal, which was very bad from Lindelof, as I was backing him, but he still had a good game in my opinion. I think he had the mentality to get through it, and he done better to make up for the mistake. And obviously Son got an easy goal in my opinion, because no one was really tracking him. He was ready free on, and that was coming from our right hand side. Cavani's resilience to get us back into the game, and he showed it very well from a good ball from Greenwood, and even Fred taking his goal to make it 1-1 was really good as well, man. I just think the mentality from the second half, we just showed the courage and why we should be winning this game, because we just had more. We had more courage. We took more shots, and the resilience. And because it's Mourinho as well, I just think players like Luke Shaw, Paul Pogba, they wanted to show why they are top good players, and they definitely did. Luke Shaw was running that left-hand channel really well. Pogba was dominating in the midfield. If you saw the skill, what he done to end on Højbjerg, he had him on his bum. Let's be real. So he done a job. So yeah, I mean, won the game perfectly. So
you're happy. I can tell you're.
I'm very happy, man. I'm very happy.
Good day. Come to you next.
Yeah. I thought of the first half it was pretty even, and I think obviously I just wanted to know how we were going to respond to that goal, because it was an injustice to us getting a disallowed goal and them scoring, and we responded with the right mentality. We just kept playing. Really important for Fred to get that goal before halftime. Second half, totally different brand of football. We weren't really FIFA freestyling it or whatever, you know. We were really balling, and that's what I'm saying. The intensity of the game, I enjoyed the game, like both sides. The intensity of the game was wicked, and we were playing fast-paced, good football, and a lot of good performances from us, like Cavani. He hasn't played a lot this season, but really good. He gave Dyer so much problems. Shaw again, consistent. Pogba waits him, man. You know, even Fred. When does Fred score a goal like that? So I think there's a lot of good individual performances, and I think there's a togetherness about United. We're playing as United, you know. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what we could do in the summer going forward to strengthen the team, and I can't wait till next season.
Very dues. On Monday, your stage is yours.
Very quickly, I made this very short. I'm going to use your 30-second man. Henderson, he's our number one goalkeeper, proven today by playing. We discussed that during the week. Who plays in the Prem is our number one goalkeeper. Today was a big statement. We saw De Gea on the bench with his little mask, trying to hide, his face. Wan-Bissaka, I thought he done really well up against. Was he up against Song? Yes, he was up.
Yeah,
he was actually. Song, with trickery and everything else, stood up instead of going to ground, which he usually does. Really impressed by that. Harry Maguire, fantastic. Luke Shaw, fantastic. Fred, I was saying, don't go forward. Stop going forward. He went forward, done a little 1-2 and scored. Nearly sailed over the box, by the way. Tom played well. Pogba, world class. What he did intelligently to in-game management to keep the ball, play with you down the left-hand side. That was really intelligent. Really enjoyed that. Bruno played well. Rashford is got a lot to learn. He can't play on the right. He's running into players all the time. Doesn't know what to do. Cavani, I thought he outshone Kane today. 2 top strikers. Should have been billed like that, and he came out on top. And just to say, I thought Mourinho, what he done really well today with your goal. If you look back at our Brighton, when we played Brighton last week, they scored a goal, back post. We were big. Welbeck came in, snuck in, and they still had a player behind Wan-Bissaka. This time, Song snuck in. Rashford didn't come back, and they overloaded on Wan-Bissaka. Same sort of goal. So I thought Mourinho must have planned, or not say planned that, but must have looked at that and because it's only last week and done something about it. So give the guy credit. Don't be too disheartened, Spurs. You got a good setup there. You got a guy called Ramel Carter. I know him, Ramel Carter, young youth. He's about 10, 12 years old. So it's about time.
You're taking a P now one day.
Does he play centre back? Does he play centre back?
Exactly. We'll take him. We'll take him if he's 12. He can play centre back. We'll put him in.
He's from West London down here. I've sort of seen him grow up. Brilliant player. Little skilled little player. You know these sort of little wonder kids you see, and he plays for Spurs. So good luck to Ramel and good luck to Spurs. Big up.
Thank you, Monday. That 30 seconds was long.
Yeah,
long 30 seconds. Marlon.
Well, I got to say, if Man U done that to us, what's Man City gonna do to us in the final?
Stop.
That's all I'm saying.
Stop.
I ain't got nothing else to say. Told you. I gave up for a while ago, man. It's just cemented my thoughts on this guy.
This is what Mourinho does.
When you're negative, when you've got this negative aura around you, it doesn't work with a lot of players. And to be honest, he apparently he does it to trigger players, but it doesn't work with everyone. It's not working at Tottenham, man. Yeah, I think it's just time to finish. Time to go, man. Time to go.
Okay, so there's one Jose up there. Darius.
Again, I'm gonna say this because I like being right. I predicted 3-1 Man United, so you can go back in the Premier League show and check. I did say. So I'm not as angry. I was quite angry when certain goals went in, but again, I'm not surprised. I'm just embarrassed. It's embarrassing now, and I signed out last week, and I don't really care what happens for the rest of the season. Kane, you've got my blessing, bro. If you want to go with Poch and go do bits with Mbappe and Neymar, then you have my blessing. I'm not going to say nothing because you don't deserve this. Harry Kane does not deserve this. So that's all I'm going to say.
They're throwing us under a bus. Mike, the voice of reason. I'll try and end with a bit of voice of reason as well. But Mike.
I am not for 1 minute listening to anyone wanting to say Harry Kane leave, Son leave.
No, he's got my blessing. I don't want him to leave. I
don't want one single top Tottenham player to leave. So although I don't really have much to say about the game, it is what it is. Man United deserved it. Fair play to them. They didn't humiliate us 6-1 like we did them.
Yeah, get that in.
Should have been a 4, but
also, hold on, let me have more time. Come on. Also, I didn't see much. I mean, in terms of Man United and their gameplay, their freestyle did well today. It worked. It worked. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And Carrick did well today, mate. So yeah, well done, Carrick. Well done, Man United.
I like that.
Yeah.
You got to get them digs in somewhere. You've got to get them digs in. I would do the same. Okay, from my perspective, I'm not going to take too long because I've ranted enough on here. I always try and go game to game, and obviously after the game, you're emotional. You go into things. We can't change a manager now. It's although I would say it's very hard to find reasons why Jose should continue. I don't think it would be the right move to do that. As I said, it's always got to be the end of the season, and we take a stock of what's exactly happened. As Spurs fans, we've been through barren spells. We've been through times when we haven't won. So we're going. My expectations were a lot higher at the beginning of the season, but I did say if we won the Carabao Cup, even if we were mid-table, the mentality side of things for us would be positive. It's looking harder and harder to win that. I give you that because Manchester City are a level above Manchester United. No respect to Man United, but they are a level above all teams in the Premiership. So if they turn up, there's nothing much we can do, even if we turned up on our best day. However, a game of football is a game of football and can still be won. So I'm still got hope that we can finish the season well, but there is a lot of work that needs to go on behind the scenes. There's a lot of work that needs to go on behind the scenes.
Also, if Leeds United could beat Man City, surely we've got a chance. I can't. It's a game of football. 90 minutes. If Leeds can do it, then we've got a chance. So
let's just go through some of all of these comments. Yes, lads. Oh dear. United played a very good game. Respect to them.
Thank you.
Reggie played Cavani outside or onside for the second. Reggie, I mean, he's talking about. Paul Brown. Paul's always got a lot to say. Nothing new today. Team manager not showing the desire. Team that wanted one. Congratulations, Man United. But as usual, on we go. Come on, you Spurs, and you got to keep going, Spurs. Toby doesn't control the midfield. If he played or not, it would have been the same. Sometimes I think maybe not because, as I said, I think Dyer was at fault for the goal which came over his head. He's not positioned, is not well, but our defense is a little bit all over the place. You need a bit of leadership. So again, I can dispute that one. More comments here. NG23. United's like Floyd, take advantage of those early rounds because once they figure out the what is it, the Rubik's, it's over. Oh, gosh, so we're just getting pammed here. I don't want to do any more comments. That's enough for now. I want to go and see if Arsenal can maybe snatch a defeat from victory at the moment where they're winning to make my day better. And I bought my San Miguel. So San Miguel, if you're watching, you can send me a crate of this product placement there.
Secco, guys.
Oh, God. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm going to get us out with
what is that?
Prosecco.
Prosecco. Gentlemen, thank you very much all for coming on. It's been a pleasure. I would say it's been a wonderful, wonderful day, but it hasn't been. But we have to go. Let's go and see if we can do something against Everton next week. Thank you all for appearing. TJ, Amondi, Marlon, Darius, and Mike. Thank you very much. See you again soon.